Evening, guys, and welcome back to GKP Live. Hope you've all had a good week. Hope you've enjoyed this great weather that we've been having. I've got plenty done in the garden, on my filter system, around the pond. Pretty much got everything up and tidied up and geared up, ready for kicking into what's definitely spring now. Right, well, furthermore, I shall bring in our 4 or 3 other members of the panel, and we'll start off tonight's show. Hope everybody's good. Bring Mick in first of all. Evening, Mick. How are you doing, mate? You good?
All right. Not too bad, thank you.
We'll bring in Gary Webb of Pond and Garden.
Hello.
And we've got Daz of Daz's Koi Farm. How you doing, guys? Hope you've all had a good week.
Yeah.
Hope you've all had a good, productive week so far up to press.
Yeah. Busy as usual.
Yeah, myself too. I've been off all week, but been busy as heck all week, trying to get everything that I can done around the garden, around the pond, my filter system and everything else. So I've had a productive, busy week. So fingers crossed, we should be getting somewhere. Yeah. What about yourself, guys? Does anybody have any interesting news to share with what you've done this week, or what's going on and what's been going on?
Yeah, I've been digging a massive hole in the garden.
So the big build is underway then? You've started it?
It is, yes. Yeah. I reckon we're probably going to be talking 15 to 20 tons of soil we're taking out.
Wow.
It's going to be a big old pond.
What are you going to do with 15, 20 tons of soil? Where's all that going? Are you going to spread it around garden, or have you got
a job we're using it for? We've done 40-foot long, 4-foot wide, massive raised beds for a customer, and they needed lots of topsoil. So that's what kickstarted the pond.
That's worked out pretty good, man.
It has. It's a win-win, really. I'm getting paid for the topsoil, and I'm getting paid for digging the hole.
Bonus.
And it saves me skipping it.
So what size are you actually going then? What are you actually going for?
I haven't even measured it, to be honest. I just kept digging and digging and digging. It's going to be 2 ponds with it sort of joined together, but a division down the middle. One for male fish, one for female fish. And I'm going to have all my breeding stock in there. And it's probably going to be about, each pond is going to be about 15 foot by 15 foot. So they're going to be decent size. About 6 deep. I can't go too deep, otherwise I need a snorkel.
You're going to be struggling to get back out.
Yeah. But yeah, they're going to be sleeper ponds. So bottom 2 courses are block work, and then the rest of it will be sleepers.
And are you going to go with enclosing it? Is it going to be outdoor, or is it going to be under covers?
It's going to be outdoor, but it's going to have a gazebo or pergola over the top with twin wall sheeting, just to stop the birds messing in it. And I'll probably net the sides as well with some shade netting, just to keep herons out or anything. So
it's going to be protected to the elements somewhat.
It is, yeah. I mean, that does make a marginal heat difference. It does make it a little bit warmer, keeps the prevailing wind off.
Yeah,
it warms the water a bit. So, but it certainly won't be heated.
Looks like we might have had a technical issue there and lost Mick. I'm sure he'll be back very shortly as soon as he gets back. There we go. There he is. He's back. Oh, there we go. We've got 2 now, and
he's
2 on the
wrong way now. Oh, he's turned around.
Right, quick look at the comments. We've got at the Koi Pond, evening all. We got evening.
Evening.
We've got Pond and Garden has put a hi ho. Telford Koi Pond who's put evening all. Evening, Phil. Hope you're good, mate. Hope you enjoyed your holiday. We've got a hi ho from Stephen Hill, and we've got a good evening from Dave from DT Koi. Hope you're good, Dave. We've also
evening,
got
Dave.
Quicking off the press there. A hi all from Up North Koi Pond, who I believe is Simon, whichever you prefer, mate. Let me know, bud. Evening, mate. Hope you're good.
Thank you.
So then, Gav, Have you had anything good happen this week? What happened? You want to share with us anything you've experienced?
I had a visit the other day from a fellow YouTuber. That one.
Oh, that must be Big Keith from
Yeah.
Seaver's
And he was also kind enough to give me a koi sock.
That was very nice. As in, like, thank you very much. Here's a gift. There is a koi sock and a mug. Hey,
Yeah.
Keith, you can come visit me. I've already got the cup, though. Sorry.
Yeah, and other than that, we are all 100% confirmed to go down to Martin at Devon Koi Pond and James the Koi Whisperer on Saturday.
I've got to admit, those are two ponds I'd like to meet Martin. He seems like I'm guessing, but I don't know 100%. Does he work in education? Does he work in?
Yeah, he's a caretaker. He's a caretaker at a local school.
Oh, I had him down for perhaps maybe craft design technology type guy that were doing teaching kids how to do it, because he seems to do a lot of construction stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm sure he said he was the caretaker at a local school, but he does do other bits and pieces at the school, and he does his own signs and plaques and laser cutting and stuff that he does on eBay.
Yeah. Just to quickly pan back to the comments, because I'm going to try to see if I can keep up with these. Not too bad. Can't wait for the weekend to relax. Yeah, time kind of been relaxing all week, mate. I've had this. Took advantage of the long weekend and did the Friday, Monday off, and took the remaining week, and then off this weekend. So I've had a good rest, to be fair. We've got another Keith Moulton. Is that right? Hi lads. Hi Keith. You good, mate? Hope you're well.
Hiya.
We've got Stubbs Aquatic. How's it doing? How you doing, Chris? Hope you're good, mate. Have you got rid of that snow over there yet? Or have you still... Did you see it? It started full on snowing again for him. What he calls is it winter or sprinter? Something like that. But yeah, the full on snow again, down to like 10 degrees, -10 or something stupid. Crazy over there, Chris. I don't know how you deal with it, mate. Hope you're good though, mate. We've got Pond Life. How's it going, guys? Hope you're good. Evening. Hope everyone is well and their ponds. Thank you very much, mate. And thank yourself. Everything's going good so far. Well, yeah, everything's going good. I was pulling my hair out of a day. My filter system kind of decided it were going to fall over and collapse on itself because the decking underneath it had sunk. So the barrel kind of did this, tipped over, and my neighbour came around and let me know that it was all pouring out the top and emptying pond out. I managed to get it upright and sorted out again, but there is more need for the pressing filter system to get completed and done and fitted into the shed now than what it was. Let's say that much. But it's up and running. I did have a bit of an issue with my ultraviolet. If anybody that follows, mate. That's as using mate, mate.
I am, yeah. I'm multitasking. I'm doing the kids' tea.
If anybody's following, you might have seen a couple of the shorts that I've done. Basically, I managed to get my UV running again temporarily because it was starting to go green. Mouse tube through my cable, sorted out one area, thought I'd got it both. I had a quick mess around with the bulb and what have you just to make sure everything was running okay. And when the barrel tipped over, some of the gravel went through the filter system and got wedged inside the ultraviolet housing, which slowed down the flow rate coming out, which made the barrel system start to overflow. So I had to strip that out and clean it all again to find another section of wiring that the mouse has had a never go at. So I rectified that, got it up and running again. But in the last 2 or 3 days that it's been up and running, it's gone from almost pea green to back up and running and almost crystal clear, which is pretty good to say it's only running an 11 watt UV. So you don't need these massive, great big UVs, guys, that you've all got on your ponds. You can make do with a smaller UV as long as you don't allow it to get too pea green, or you're patient enough to allow it to do its job. It will clear it up and keep on top of it with a small version. Anyway, I digressed a little bit there, didn't I? Up North Coy says, usually all of them calls me Simon and the missus when she's mad. Yeah, that's when I get my Sunday name too, mate. Sorry. So we'll call it Si. We'll make it Si from now on in, bud. We got have to have a visit, cars not far away from me. Yeah, definitely, mate. We ought to do vice versa. swing. You come see me, and I'll come see you, mate. Sounds like a plan. Definitely, we'll get something hashed out and marked up, mate. Quick one from Chris again. No snowing, the rain, and sprinter. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. No snowing, the rain is back, I guess. Well, I suppose it's better to have a bit of rain, Chris, than to be dealing with all that snow. Even Dog didn't want to come out of a day when you were on your video. Right then, what we got? What's topics? Anybody got anything they would like to discuss? Anybody in the audience got anything you would like to discuss?
There was one in my head. Well, it was one in my head, but it's gone boom.
Well, I've got one, but I don't know if I should say it or not. I mean, bottom drain, good idea or bad idea?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, well, okay, I'll go with that. I've heard that one thing I'm not 100%. I mean, yes, they're good because obviously all your muck and your crap comes out. But the thing I've heard bad things about them is that you get a bottom sediment settlement in the bottom of the pipe, which is obviously never going to be a good thing. But
yeah, I
don't have one, so I can't really comment on it. But if it does do what I've heard, and it does, get settlement in the bottom, it's a bad place for bacteria and breeding ground for bacteria to settle and start to produce.
Yeah,
the big issue I have with them is if things go wrong. I've seen countless people where it's drained the pond, and a lot of the time people got to it just in time where there's been like a foot of water left. But
yeah.
Well, when you say bottom drain, Dad, are you going bottom drain pump fed or bottom drain gravity fed?
I don't really know. I mean, I've only got a retrofit bottom drain on one of mine.
Yeah, whether you're bottom drain pump fed or retrofit bottom drain pump fed, yeah, if you get something go wrong, especially with the pump not cutting off or float switch not working, then yes, it could drain your pond out. If you go full bottom drain gravity fed that I have, then that eliminates that straight away because it cannot pump itself dry and it can't overflow either. Yeah, with the pipe work, if you're cleaning and purging your bottom drain valve often enough, then you shouldn't really get that sediment in the bottom of the pipe. Like what Gary's on about. I know someone did say if you're running 4-inch bottom drain as opposed to 3-inch, there is more. Obviously, the water's moving through the pipe slower, so there is more chance of the sediment picking up in the bottom of the pipe. But yeah, I have especially with the water quality and the water clarity between pump fed and gravity bottom drain fed, there is a big difference in the water quality and the water clarity as well, between bottom drain and pump fed. So I can only say I wish I'd gone full gravity fed bottom drain years ago.
Yeah.
We know of two people personally.
Yeah. This is what I was thinking.
Yeah, as friends and also as people that have been on YouTube, one that is on YouTube and another one that's, I would imagine has appeared on YouTube quite a few times. And both of them in the last weekend have had what could have been potentially, one was an absolute catastrophe.
Yeah.
Losing hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of fish, hundreds and hundreds of fish. And the other coming home after being away for a weekend with us to come back to literally all of his stock in no more than 3 inches of water. And that was some 20 odd thousand gallons, I think, was it? Something like that. It's a big pot. It's a lot of water. And the whole system pumped itself completely dry. Now, for me, having a pump-fed system with a shut-off system, i.e. a float valve that drops off, the water level drops to a certain level, drops by 3, 4, maybe 5 inches, and that's it. It shuts off. They've still got air. They've still got a secondary pump for circulation that's literally just taking out and putting straight back into the pond. It's not going through a filter system or anything. So they've still got that, but they haven't got the risk of being in a position where there's no life support sort of thing. To me, if you drain cracks like Danny's did, everything pumps out, and you get up in the morning, your fish are dead. They're dead out there. There's no ways going about it. I mean, I hate to bring up Danny. Sorry, mate.
This is why I was in two minds whether to even mention it, because it's still raw.
One of my for quite a while, one of my main fears with bottom drain going gravity fed was anything going wrong with that pipe while it's in the ground. Because if it was to go wrong, it was to break or anything, that's a lot of flipping water to lose into the ground. When I had my pond built last year, a couple of the joints, Mark used the rubber 90 elbows, which I've got a fear of those splitting. So at some point, those rubber elbows will be replaced for solvent, proper solvent weld.
Yeah, they have a limited life, don't they? They will always perish at some point. Yeah.
Well, it's just the same as a rubber tire, isn't it? You know, they sit there on a vehicle, and over 10 years, you might not use your vehicle too much, but you have to replace them. The sidewalls have perished.
Yeah.
I mean, rubber does perish, doesn't it? It's one of them things.
Yeah.
If it's submerged and it's buried in ground, that rubber, I would imagine that's even more likely to perish a lot faster. But
with mine, both my only say 90-degree bend that's in the ground is actually pressure weld solvent joint. But where I'm going over to the Draco Minima next year, the drum filter, the two rubber boots that I have got are going to be changed for PVC.
Yeah.
Well, pressure fittings.
Well, let's have a look at a few comments to what people have said. People have been saying, and see what. We got that message there from Chris. We'll be 18 on Sunday and back to 5 for the rest of the week. Man, that's cold still. We got a quick message there from Dave. You have to miss me on Facebook, guys. Will do, mate. No problem. Next one we got from Pond Life. We've just invested in a float switch. Are they hard to install? Mate, they're not. They're a piece of cake. Have a look at my channel. There is a link and a step-by-step on how to do it, mate. It's one of my earlier videos. Absolute piece of cake, mate. Can't go wrong. And if you follow the instructions that I've done, it is simple, mate. It really is. But there are other channels out there available if you want to watch anybody else's. There's quite a few people that have done it. They are easy, mate. Not a problem at all. It's better to have width. Is it better to have width or depth? Well, we'll come back to that one, mate. But again, another very good question. At the Corrie Pond bottom drain, a must-have, big thumbs up. I agree, mate. I mean, don't get me wrong. If money would allow, my wife would allow me to build and dig a great big pond. I mean, I'd rather keep her happy than and have a pump-fed system that she's a little bit less knacked about when I turn half at garden upside down and empty, pipes and drains and everything else. And it's a lot more expensive. Yeah, it's a lot more expensive a build to put a bottom drain in and have it gravity fed, in my opinion.
The pipe work alone.
Yeah, it's the price of the pipe work. You look at standard, but then again, there is a debate with certain people whether when you're doing gravity fed systems, whether you have to use pressure pipe or can you just use standard PVC pipe. There's some that say you can't. You've got to use pressure pipe. Others say you don't have to.
This is the thing, man. I've had the same thing. I've researched on, seen a fair few videos where there is no pressure on pipes underwater. When they're full of water, the pressure is equal. There's only pressure in a pipe when it's full of air underwater. It's the submarine effect. It explodes with pressure should, get down at more depth. But yeah, I don't know how much there is to that for being an issue. But personally, if you were going to be stepping ground to me, I think it'd be better to go with a more substantial, thicker, higher graded pipe than, in a pipe on above ground kind of thing that you could get away with. personally, if I were piling a lot of concrete over the top of it, there's the weight element to it, isn't there? So you'd like to think that it'd be a better and safer bet to go with a more substantial pipe, in my opinion.
Well, I don't think you actually have to use concrete to put it in the ground. You know, you just, once you got your trench, you got your pipe in, just backfill it with the dirt that you took out.
Yeah. Well, if you're laying pipe work in ground, as in the highways, you should technically, you should bed down on 200 mil of sand, then your pipe plus 200 mil of sand, and on top of it, identify it, whether it be if it's cables or whether it's pipe or whether it's pipe. Identifiable strips that you put over top, so that then people know as they expose to it and dig onto it, scrape into the sand, to start going steady from there on in. So normally it's good practice to bed it down on sand rather than on concrete first. But each their own, mate.
Yeah, mine's all pressure pipe and it's concreted in.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you know what's there, mate. When you house, if somebody bursts that pipe, that's on them. But if you were
if I have to move any time, I can guarantee you the ponds will be coming with me.
There you go. We've got Dubs that said bottom drains scare me, especially in winter as pipes can freeze. Yeah, that's especially over where you live. At the end of the day, you must get burst pipes on your properties all the time.
I know. I do agree with one opinion that someone did have, that with pump fed or gravity fed, there's more chances of pump fed systems freezing than there is gravity fed.
Yeah. We've got Dave from DT Coy says, on life, I use an IQ pump, which has something. Yeah, I think you've got one of them, haven't you, guys?
Yes, I've got two of them.
A float switch system. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got two of them. I've got one that's pump fed, which is in the small pond. My other one is on my skimmer line to my water blade. But the only thing with those IQs is, yes, they do have an automatic cut-off that works in the same way a float switch does, but that only works if it's a pump fed setup. If it's a dry mounted gravity fed setup, I don't think that. I will actually test that one tomorrow.
There we go, for science. Core beginnings, if fitted correctly, hands down better than pump fed. There you go. No,
yeah,
must be good. I'm only joking, but yeah, I think that's the thing. I would prefer one, but for me, it's the expense, and I like to think that pond keeping for me is a cheaper method than the expensive route.
The only thing we did wrong was we over-ordered on how much pipe we wanted. You know, we ordered 6 meters of 3-inch, a meter of inch, and a meter of inch and a half, and I've still got a full length of 3-meter pipe, 3-inch pipe sitting out in the garden.
Yeah, I would have an all at 12 quid a meter. I'd be holding on to it as well. I mean, 40 mil pipe, high pressure pipe, 40 mil, 12 pounds per meter. That's what it's got up to, which is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, all up pipe work, bottom drain, fittings, everything. I think I paid $3.90.
Yeah.
But then again, I've gone for the more expensive spin drift bottom drain, where you can get JBL plastics bottom drains or bottom drains off eBay for about 40 quid.
Well, to put it into context for you, all the pipework that I've bought from my filter system that I'm making right now and my bottom drain, all in less than 100 quid.
Yeah.
It's a lot of difference, isn't it?
What's that, standard PVC?
It's solvent weld, mate.
Standard solvent weld, yeah.
Yeah, standard solvent weld pipework, which works in building trade every day a week. And it lasts, a hell of a long time. Don't get me wrong, if it took a knock or took a bang or something belted into it, it's going to crack, it's going to break. But it's a case of a joint, an elbow, a couple of joints, take out a section, back together again, job done. It's easy to cut, easy to do. That stuff's not so easy to rejoin back up again. You've got no flexibility in it. You can't bend it. You can't move it. Mine, I could bend them and separate them so that I could get a piece out, put 2 sections back in, and reconnect them back up again. But again, each to their own. We've got hello guys. Hope all good. How's it going, Carlo? Hope you're well, mate. Pond Life says at DT Coy sounds interesting. Thanks. Coy Beginning says, what we got for dinner, Mick?
Ah,
And thanks
I'm on a new diet.
banquet. Look at that.
Very nice.
Are them olives?
Yes.
Yeah. And feta cheese.
Yep.
That sounds like that looks very, very similar to what your mum prepared us that there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, Mick's turned continental now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just trying to lose some more pounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Eat a bit more healthier.
You're welcome to keep passing them my way. I'll have your pounds. DT Coy says my water clarity is superb. I won't go that far, mate. Nobody's is superb. Everybody's can be good, and it could be exceptionally good if you really, really got a good filter system. But superb. How good? Superb. What's the scale of clarity?
Would you drink it?
Would you drink it? Would you drink it that clear?
I don't mind clear enough. All my water parameters are exactly spot on. I still wouldn't drink it.
Would you not?
No.
Not when you think how many times it's been through a fish.
Does the amount of times I've been fishing and had an handful of roach or perch, anything, any kind of slime, green slime, and had it all over my hands and just given it this, wiped them off like that, and then tucked into a cheese and onion sandwich every day a week. I used to do it all the time. Never
Me
did.
too, to be honest. Yeah.
And that fish,
it's survived riverbank.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I'd go out there and drink my water.
say again,
I'd go out there and drink my pond water.
would you?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I was like,
Yeah.
Don't mind us. You carry on.
No, I'd go out there and drink it now.
Go on then.
no,
Let me call the glamorous assistant.
we don't want him getting salmonella.
Fetches a glass, half a pint of pond water. Mick's going to down it by end of show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phil from Telford Koi Pond says, I believe the correct setup bottom drain system and correct setup pump fed system is almost identical in terms of performance. Difference is simply far less equipment in a pond on gravity. Yeah, I'd agree, mate. I think if you've got a good filter system and your filter system's running well, then there isn't really a great deal of difference in your clarity of your water. I don't know as that. I mean, did you increase your filter system when you went with a bottom drain, Gaz, or did you just have the same filter system and just swapped it from one pond to the next?
No, when I was on the pump fed system, I had the Easy Pod, which I'm running now. So it was just a case of swapping from pump fed to gravity fed when I built the koi pond that we got now. So yeah, the filter
if you're running the same system and you've seen a difference, maybe there is a difference.
Yeah, not only have I seen a difference in like water clarity and everything, since I've been on gravity fed, I haven't had to use the pond vac once, and I've also actually noticed a difference in the way the fish behave as well. Oh my lord, he's got a glass of pond water. How can we know? How can we prove that that's pond water?
Staff?
He's doing it.
Staff?
How can we prove that's pond water?
Princess? Oh, sorry, I want the proof to you. Wait a minute. Where did you get that water from? You'll shut it. You'll shut it out. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Steph. So, you never told her what you were doing with it.
Right, go on, mate. 3, 2, 1, go.
Look, his neck held not down. Oh gosh, it was nice.
No. How did it taste?
A bit sweater.
So when Mick's not on next week, guys, you'll know why. You're gonna pop to doctors and get yourself some tapeworm tablets.
No, you're all right. I'm a good, strong northern boy, so I'm all right.
There we go. So what's your opinions on a bottom drain then, Mick, just as you get your next mouthful?
I'm always frightened in case something goes wrong underground.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that is scary.
I mean, a pipe cracks or it starts to leak. Then you've got to rehouse your fish somewhere, take it all out, start again, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, bottom drains are good if you get the professional to do it. And come in, set them up, pond up, and everything's all good. And then anything goes wrong, you can always blame them.
Yeah, I do personally think that if I were going to do it, I probably would get somebody to do me that kind of build if we were going to do it.
Yeah.
And have a rate build, proper made, for once.
Yeah.
So we've got DT Koi, auto cut off the IQ pump, only works when used. Oh, there you go. Sorry, that's just a reply back from Gaz back to DT. Issues with sediment in a gravity lines only occur if you haven't made provisions for occasional purging, in my opinion. Yeah, well, at the end of the day, mate, if you're purging regular enough, then really you shouldn't have it, should you? I don't think. But, we've actually got another guest here as well, so we might as well bring this one in too. There we go. We're just talking about bottom drains, Jack, and our opinions upon them and what we think. Are they a good thing? Are they a bad thing? And talking about whether or not. Well, for example, what happened to two of our friends this weekend that we know both of them almost lost everything that they had. The main one being Danny, who unfortunately lost everything from a bottom drain leakage.
Awful. He did do his best.
Actually, didn't he? Yeah. But as we got onto that, we were talking about water and everything else, and Mitch just literally downed a glass of water out of his pond. He said he would be more than happy to drink the water out of his pond. There's nothing wrong with it, and he literally just necked.
To be fair, I can guarantee you now, that pond water will be lower ammonia, nitrate, and nitrite than what comes out of his tap right now.
Yeah, probably.
Do a line test, Mick. Do a water test on your tap water and a water test on your pond water.
Yeah. I will do when I finish my banquet.
He's got it right.
He's got a king's feast there at the moment, Jack.
Corey Beginnings asked what he got for dinner, and he has a whole banquet in front of him. It's absolutely everything. Telford Koi there at Koi Pond agrees with you, mate. Gary agrees as well.
Nice.
Pond Life says brilliant. Thanks, guys. At Koi Pond, pressure pipe all the way. Would not use anything else. Deep pocket said, mate. That's all I can say. And unnecessary. There's another opinion, but again, that's just my opinion. Pressure pipe. If you've got even if you've got a high pressured system, which runs at a maximum of 1.6 psi, high pressure pipe is overkill because standard pipe work can go to 4.3 psi. So it's not needed for high pressure. It's only needed for its strength.
Wasn't it Skeggy that was saying on one of his videos that with someone was saying with most of the pumps that we use in our systems, the most pressure they're going to push out is pumps probably something like half a bar.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like a pressure bead filter only runs at a maximum pressure of 1.6 bar.
Yeah, what a pressure pipe that's rated up to 10 bar, isn't it? Pressure
pipe. It's either 10 or 11, I think. Yeah. So
I don't know what
10 and 11 bar pressure pipe work for a filter system that's only capable of taking 1.6.
Yeah. Is it true? Is it true? The larger the gauge pipe, the less pressure it goes through as well.
Yeah, it goes through.
The finer PSI comes from, or you get more higher pressure PSI in a smaller diameter. But
I think what Mick's on about is if you look at the flow rate between 3-inch pipe and 4-inch pipe, 3-inch it would go through the pipe a lot faster than what it would do the 4-inch pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the smaller diameter pipe, the faster the flow rate.
Yeah, that's what Gaz has said.
Yeah.
Phil from Telford Koi Pond says, I agree with that, Koi Pond. Do it once and do it properly, using the best materials you can afford. That's indicating that people that use the lesser expensive materials haven't done it properly, Phil. So, I mean, you haven't got high pressure pipe work on your guttering fall pipes from your house, have you? And you haven't got high pressure pipe on your kitchen tap or your bath tap or your or your sinks. None of them are high pressure. And they're coming through at 12 bar front mains. So I put high pressure pipe work on your pond. I'm not saying you shouldn't, by the way. What's
the crush resistance between them, though?
The crush resistance between what?
Pressure pipe and normal pipe?
I've no idea. Because obviously, a high pressure pipe is going to be a hell of a lot more stronger because it's a hell of a lot more thicker. But the pounds per square inch pressure that it can take on the joints and the solvent weld is where it fails.
I get that, but obviously the pressure for, if there was water, if you had the pipe through your pond, as in like through the water column, then yes, the pressures would pretty much hold the same bar. But by using pressurized pipe underground, don't forget that the pressure element the crush pressure element is going to be a lot different because you've got the weight of that water that's physically pushing down on the concrete base that you've got. So if you've got 20,000 litres, you've got 20,000 tonne, plus say 4 tonne of concrete, plus say 5 tonne of block. Obviously, if that earth is to settle just a little bit when it's full, which is naturally going to happen over time, then your pressure pipe would obviously stand a lot more. So I do agree with, me personally, on my pond, I don't use pressure pipe. However, on April's pond that she's having me build, on that I will use pressure pipe on there. A, it's not a build that I've ever done before on the channel, but B, there's going to be about 15 tonne of water, there's going to be about 5 tonne of block, and there's going to be about 4 tonne of concrete base on the bottom. So for me, because you think I'm going to be doing a 12, because of where we are on Tom Fields, how high it is, and I know what the grade is like up there, I'm going to get a lot of subsidence coming on there. So like our house, for example, when it was built underpinned.
Yeah.
Like as standard, like, which is very, very rare. Like our foundations in the garage for the house are 4 foot deep, just for the garage. So that's why I'll be doing it on the pond. Obviously, would I like to go down the route of using non-pressurised? 100%, because pipe work is probably going to cost me about 400 quid in pipe work.
Are you dropping a bottom drain? I said at the very beginning though, if I were doing a bottom drain, I would use high pressure pipe on that section purely because it's thicker, it's stronger. But the rest of my pond pipe work, I won't waste my money on it personally. But that's just me.
I'd agree with that. Below ground pressure pipe, cheaper stuff.
Yeah, cheaper stuff. All right, the aesthetics of it does look a million times better. It looks nice, but it's a lot to pay just to.
Yeah, plus it's grey.
Oh look, I've got grey pipe.
At the end of the day, if you cover it all with a filter house, you ain't going to see it anyway.
Yeah, well, then most people lag it, so you don't see it, so why use it?
Yeah.
If you're going to lag it, you're going to protect it. I mean, well, everybody, it's the thing. It's not why use it. I'm just spitballing here between. I forget that we're here spitballing between everybody. But this is this is it. This is the thing. I still want the conversation and I want the chat to be. It's us having a chat. What we would discuss and how we would normally talk amongst ourselves. I don't understand why people use it. If money were no object and I didn't give the monkeys and I won't bother about all that kind of thing, yeah, damn right, I'd have the best of the best. But when you're limited and you've got, a budget to work at, then it's perfectly acceptable to use those in my eyes. But I get where you're coming from, Phil. I agree. If a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well. But I do believe you can do something well. It's like there's difference between a Mercedes and a Ford. They're both cars, they both got four wheels, they both got an engine. Just one's going to cost a lot more for you to get to the same place in the same length of time. But again, just my opinion. So, most definitely Telford, all my ponds are in pressure pipe. Again, yeah, I get it, bud, totally do. But it's yeah. I do think it's a slight little bit of overkill. Peter's Puddle, koi and goldfish. Evening, guys. Both my ponds are different. One's going gravity fed, other pump fed. There we go, Peter. What you can do for us next time, mate, is you can come back and tell us whether or not there's a difference between your pump fed and your gravity fed. Tell us if you've spot or noticed a difference between the clarity of your water being one or the other. Which is what I think actually got us on to Mick drinking his pond water. The clarity of it. Andy from Koi Pond Lifestyle says, evening all, evening Andy, hope you're good, mate. Quick message there from Keith again. It's better to have, is it right? Yeah, let's jump from that topic. I think we've bashed that one for a good long while. Keith mentioned in his questioning earlier on, is it better to have width or depth, guys, to your ponds?
Depth, 100%.
I'd go depth. For big fish, I'd say depth.
Yeah.
So we got 2 for depth. Personally,
I'd go length.
I'd go length. And the reason why I'd go length is because fish enjoy traversing up and down, up and down. You don't see fish enjoying too much of the up and down depth-wise. Koi don't tend to like to go deep water too much because it gives them swim bladder trouble. So I would say lengthwise so they can go up and down the length of it and enjoy the distance in swimming.
What is the optimum depth then for koi?
The optimum depth.
Because some people go crazy. They go like 7 foot deep.
4 foot.
Me, that's 4 foot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so I know when I'm digging my hole.
Well, I've got 4 and 5 foot. That's what most people say is your average depth, 4 and 5 foot.
Yeah.
But again, carp are designed to cruise along bottom, nose down, arse up.
Yeah.
The bottom feeders out there. So you'd think that they should be able to go to some depth, but then I've always had people talking and saying that they get swim bladder trouble if they get to too deep a depth. Whether that's true or not, it's something I'm going to have a look into because it's something that interests me and I would like to know.
How old is a yonsai fish?
A yonsai?
Yonsai, I think it's 6.
I'm just getting lost on all the fish at the same time.
Okay.
So what's your opinion, Gaz? What do you reckon? Length? Or should I say width? Same thing, really.
You said length. The others say depth. I'm actually gonna throw a spanner here, and I'm gonna go for surface area.
So length.
So not just the length, but width as well. So the whole surface area. So they've actually got your room to swim around.
I don't think there's any real difference between length and width, really. That's just the dimensions of how big you build it. You're giving them more area to swim about in, aren't you?
Yeah. So, for example, where you said length, if you're talking, say, 10 foot long, 3 foot wide, I would actually make it equal, so it's 10 foot all the way round. So they've got a bigger surface area to swim around in.
Yeah.
Because if you think you know some fish, I know my grass carp that I've got in a big pond. They are expected to go up to 30, about 3 foot in length.
Yeah.
So that's why I went for a 7 foot square pond, so that he's got a good area that he can get all the way. You know, otherwise, if I've got a 10 foot long pond, 3 foot wide, it's gonna as he grows, it's gonna get more and more difficult for him to turn around. So I would say surface area.
There we go. That's our opinions. What do you guys think? Well, I'll try catch up a little bit with some of these comments and see if I can get through some of these. Mine's all solvent well, waste pipe, PVC from Screwfix, £4.85 for 3 meters. There you go, mate. You're sounding like my kind of pond bill. That's what I got. Ramsey DIY koi pond. How you going, mate? How you doing? I went rectified last year when I rebuilt. Best thing I've ever done. Also used deep drain pipe and not your usual pond pipe. Yeah, I would admit if I were going to go do myself a bottom drain, it would go. I might be even tempted to go with a clay pipe, and put a solid pipe in so that you know 100% it's a strong pipe, especially if you were concreting it in. Up north, Koi Sai says, sounds like a live challenge, Mick. Challenge was accepted. I can see fish in that. Was the glass of water that you were holding up? Sai says Mick's got trick and flukes now. Get you some fluke salt to swill down after. Koi beginnings with a laughing face. LOL from Gaz. Give him a scrape. Steph, you might have to do a scrape on Mick later on. Just have Bob Martins before bed. If you get better. We'll have a drink. We'll have to drink some PP to clean himself out. Laughing face.
PP is safe for humans. So the water boards actually put PP through your pipework.
Yeah. Nice.
Do you know when you're, when you've ever had a drain blockage, you first turn your taps on, your water's brown.
Yeah.
And you have to let it run off because it's PP.
Seven Trent's never done that.
They do. They all do it because the same water boards also all use the Hannah testers as well.
There you go. Because it's wastewater, and plumber sites should know all about this. Gutters easy fix. Goes under the pond, massive job. Yeah, true, mate, 100%. Underneath a pond, I totally agree with you, bud. I would definitely, and I did say at the very beginning, I would definitely put in heavy duty pipe work for a bottom drain. And yeah, the rest of it would be above, so I would say it doesn't really require it. But again, like I said, each to their own. Everybody, this is what this is about. So we can throw ideas out there, what people think. They can go with the majority, and hopefully we come to an answer and a solution as to what's a good and negative thing to do. We've got "Oh no" from Mac. Oh no, what, mate? I agree. Oh no, he's just drunk his water. Could be that. More than likely. That banquet's lasting a long time, isn't it? Give us a shout if you need an hand. There's 4 other hungry guys here that are more than happy to come.
I'm going to bring some of this on Saturday, I think.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah.
Sharing is caring, Mick. Look at him. You don't know which bit to go for.
So what's your platter, mate? What's on your platter?
Cheese, grapes, 3 different types of cheeses, caramelized red onion, and best butter, olives with cream cheese and tomatoes.
You won the lottery, son, or what?
And a glass of Chardonnay.
No,
Oh, yes, darling.
no. It's only devil. I don't drink the devil's juice. I don't drink juice.
You don't know.
You don't drink
just
pond
put it out
juice.
of your pond. That could have been the devil's juice. Right, we've got a quick mention there from Simon. I've got white pipe for skimmer, but now it's black and white. I nearly had to buy white pipe today for my mate and all. I was gutted. I had to go somewhere else. I paid a little bit more for it. So, Mickey York, I understand. I did an underground pressure pipe, but above ground waste pipe. Yeah, that's what I'd have done as well, mate. Exactly the same. Definitely depth for large fish. Ours is just over 6. Wow, 6 foot. You've got a 6. That's a big koi. If it's a koi, and I'm guessing that's got to be a sturgeon at 6 foot. Must be. For large fish, ours is just over 6 foot. As in your pond's just over 6 foot for depth. Sorry, my bad, misread that. Not actually fish is 6 foot. When I say that's one big fish. Carp 8 foot, koi 4 foot. Right, so Simon, so there you go. So the common everyday carp with the exact same anatomy, literally identical, can go 8 foot, but koi can only do 4. For science, I reckon we need to test that one. What happens to a carp if it goes to 8 foot in depth then? Does it?
So there's a koi farm over in Japan that had this issue. I think it was Marasai. Is it Marasai or Dainichi? One of the two. So they dug one of their grow-on ponds.
Dainichi.
Yeah, Dainichi to around 15 foot deep. Put all the broodstock in there, and they were finding that loads of the broodstock were coming up with major internal problems. Because what they were doing was to get out of the nets, they would go in the deepest possible place they possibly could, whilst they were diving down for food and then coming back up. The bladder wasn't big enough to be able to take them all the way down. Be very interesting to get my brother on the live stream because he can talk about pressure underwater. Because obviously he's a dive, well, he's higher than a dive master now. He teaches people how to become a dive master. So he's like one of the top 3 in the world in paddy. So we'll be able to tell you all about it. And I think if you go 3 meters underwater and you've got a balloon that's got 1 liter of air in it, when you go 3 meters underwater, I think that balloon is either 4.5 or 5.5 times the size.
Yeah.
So that's why the balance itself.
All that kind of thing, aren't you? Otherwise, you get the bends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I do remember reading one website that was saying that an average koi pond would be a maximum of 4 foot deep. But if you go to depths past that, as Jack was just touching on there, that they found that koi were having swim bladder trouble.
Yeah. Well, I've read that before as well. So I wonder what is it that makes them so? I mean, obviously the hybrids, aren't they? What have been altered, changed, and bred again and again. I wonder why it is when they've got the exact same anatomy that they can't withstand pressures like that, but yet you can find a carp in 15, 16, 20 foot lakes in depth, and they're perfectly fine with it. It's weird, isn't it? How they act different, or they are different.
That's a lake, though, isn't it? So they've got that slow sort of gradient going down, haven't they? In such a small grow pool. I mean, even though the Dainichi ones aren't small, in retrospect to a lake, they're a puddle.
Yeah.
So I think that will also factor into it a lot. And you also look at the shape of a carp as well. The massive carp that sit really deep.
Big, chunky, deep bodies.
Lengthways, short bodies, that deep.
Yeah.
And it's normally winter when they tend to go in the deep water. So that will be a slow progression. They're not zipping backwards and forwards like they do in the summertime. In the summer, they do tend to stick more to the shallows.
Interesting.
That's more the thermocline as well, because of the water temperature. Yeah. It's warmer in the deeper areas.
Yeah. But then again, depth below that, it gets colder again, doesn't it?
I think it does.
Yeah. Jack was talking about Jack was talking about the thermocline in oxygen depression.
Yeah.
What would Jack?
Yeah, we were indeed.
Ramsey says, I use deep drainage pipe from BB. I reckon that's probably going to be B&Q, underground and standard PVC up top. Yeah, that's what I'd do, mate, as well. That's what I'd go for. We've got an evening, guys. Hope you're well. Just wondering what is the best position for spawning brushes
Oh, for fuck.
in the pond, thanks. Best position for, well, you've got two people here, mate, that I've never ever done any spawning. I've just let mine do it naturally.
That's how I wear my spawning brush. I made some tonight. These are
Best
spawning
position
mops.
for your spawning brushes, guys, in the actual pond.
Around the edges. Round the
Shallow.
margins. That they like to rub up against the side, and well, you can have some on the bottom as well for them to swim through. It depends how many spawning brushes you've got. If you've only got a few, I would sort of loop them around the margins of your pond. But if you've got more, spread them about.
Yeah.
End of the day, you want to catch as many eggs as you can with them.
So you say like a layer to the bottom, a layer to the mid, and a layer to the top, so that they've got plenty of areas to move and swim through.
Yeah. Because the males generally tend to push the female towards the edge of the pond to kind of pin her a bit, and that's when she'll rub against whatever is there and start spawning.
So again, for me, I always look at it how my local water is. When I've seen carp spawning down there, or all the fish spawning down there, they've always tend to seem to doing it. Their banking's gradually sloped in. But in around all the shallow areas where all the plants and reeds were. Now, whether or not it's just coincidence that's where the fish went, because that's just where the plants and reeds were. But I figured that they always moved up to shallower water. One is slightly warmer. Two, it's a good area for the eggs to incubate more. So
exactly, and that's where the fry will want to be when they hatch out.
Yeah.
That's where the micro food is. Fish never spawn in open water. It's always around the margins where the plants are in the shallows.
I've just realised here. I've just got a quick message. Depth for Ramsey says depth for mine is 5'6" deep. Mine needs to be deeper, to be fair, a lot deeper. Peter's puddle koi and goldfish. Is Peter Hemingway. Sorry, mate, didn't realise. Just changed his name on YouTube. Now I know who you are. Ash, I've heard normal drain pipe has some melts in the plastic. That is some melts. That is bad for the fish.
I think he means metals.
Yeah, well, there ain't no metals in plastic, but I mean metals in plastic. But
Is that to share?
some of the particulates that they use in the plastic pipe for drain pipes is bad for fish. Well, I don't think any form of plastics are good for any form of fish, to be completely fair. I mean, it's in watercourses, it's in a sea, oceans and all the rest of it, and that's all forms of plastic. I think you're talking about metals. So he has put metals. What forms of metals are in plastic? It's a new one on me. I mean,
plastic was pretty inert.
Yeah, plastics are made from diesel and that kind of stuff, aren't they? I didn't think there was any. I mixed back. Sorry, my bad. I'll bring him back in. I didn't know there was any form of metals in plastics, but you could be right, Ash. I'm not saying. I've never heard that before.
Some trace elements somewhere, I suppose.
I suppose there's trace elements in everything, really, to some extent, isn't there? So they're more likely could be. But that would be saying that cheaper plastics and more expensive plastics I'm guessing would have had those removed then. Is that what you suggested? I'll take my chances. I'll take my risks.
Yeah. Sorry about that, gentlemen. My phone died.
It's all right, mate. No problem. At the koi pond, 6 foot pond, we have fish over 3 foot. And you do have a stage and that's 4 foot. Nice. There you go. Plenty of room for them to move around in there, mate. Pond and fish with rudders. Hope you're well. Fish for carp in lakes 40 foot deep. Yeah, there you go, mate. I mean, that's some serious depth. And you'd think if they could get. But see, again, I'd love to know. I wouldn't mind actually finding out and seeing if there is somebody that I can actually get that kind of information from. What is the reason that carp or coya carp can't go down to those kind of depths? But yet, it'd be interesting to find out. Something I will do some research on. And if anybody else wants to, feel free to do some research and come back and help out with some of that information. It would be fantastic. Ginger Viking says, "Yo, how are you doing, mate? I'll be good."
Hi, Alistair.
Evening, Alistair.
Max Guy says, "I've got a 4-inch pipe, clay coloured pipe." Yeah, basically, mate, the pipe that you've used is conventional sewerage drain pipes, which is used in the everyday building trade, mate. That's probably what I would go for, rather than. I mean, if it's good enough to build an house on top, you can pretty much guarantee you can build a pond on it, mate.
It's strong
100%.
stuff.
Yeah, it is. The British record that deceased now 2 ton from Conningbrook, the lake was a majority 8 foot, which they stayed as a good depth and gets 40 to 50 pound. Yeah, that's the British record. Oh, you mean the British record mirror carp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It got killed by tiger nuts.
Seriously?
Yeah. Uncooked. It was uncooked properly tiger nuts. I think what killed him.
Wow.
Swelled up inside. Yeah, because they absorb a lot of water.
That's brilliant, Mick. Surprise, Steph ain't fanning you down with a girt leaf, Mick. Banquet of a king.
Oh yeah.
Wafting you down.
The boys will be doing that on the Reef Oasis on Saturday.
Ginger Viking says, Mick is my spirit animal. It says, "Evening all, late to the party. Don't worry about it, mate. Never, your earbud. That's the main thing. No, there is no set time. There's a time for me to start. There's a time for you guys to be here. You can come and go as you please." And then we've got my best friend, Zero Cool. How you doing?
Bit lampyish.
Defo Lampy, he dropped me a comment on one of my comments the other day saying, "Where's the bonsais at the polytunnel?"
He dropped you a comment. So right then. So Zero Cool is Lamper.
I'm 99.9% sure. If not, he's spent a lot of time going back through old videos.
Oh, right. It could be, yeah. Well, it could be just patrolling. It's funny if he is. Underground and above ground drainage pipe is exactly the same materials. Colour is for identification purposes. There you go.
I need a toilet, gentlemen. We'll be back in a second.
That's from a plumber, and he must know because he obviously uses it daily, day in, day out.
Yeah. Has anybody bought any fish this week?
Yeah, a whole box.
Ginger Viking says, "Evening, Lampet." Says, "Is it not for us, Si?" I'm guessing that's a question for you, mate, as opposed to a question for all. Hit the thumbs up, peeps. Yes, please, guys. If you could help, share the love, bang them thumbs in. Helps to share my channel, helps to grow, helps for me to get a little bit further and a bit further on. I'm pushing ever closer now to the 500, which is my next main target. It would be doing me a huge favor. If anybody's interested and wants to, feel free to subscribe. It is absolutely free. If you enjoy this kind of content, because we get to watch Mick eat his tea every Thursday night. It's great.
Yeah.
Washed down with pond water.
He was eating buns last week, which I've got to admit I did feel rather jealous about because they did look damn good. Zero Cool. So what happened to Lampy? Did he get kicked out of the gang? He left upon his own accord, mate. Nobody gets kicked out of gang. I believe he went his own way. Some along them lines. Definite. Couldn't possibly tell you. We'd have to ask Lampy.
Yeah. And can I say something? We're not a gang. We're not a gang.
Yeah.
We're just a group of people. We're just a group of people who are passionate about the same hobby. We welcome all and anybody.
There you go. I agree totally as well. It's not a gang, it's not a group, it's not a gang, it's not an organisation, it's not a group. We are friends, true friends. We get together most weekends, most evenings. For example, I went down to see Jack last night. Daz went over to see Mick. Mick and Daz both went to go see Jack Monday. The only one that we don't go get a chance to see is Gaz, but he does live video calls with us all regular. All of us do, loads of us do. And if anybody else is interested in joining the GKP WhatsApp group, hit me up, let me know, and I'll add you in. More than welcome to come and join us and jump in and have a chat with us at any time, at any stage.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course you can, mate.
Is there anybody that's a mechanic on here?
Oh no!
Have we got any mechanics on here? Can we make the GKP French fine cuisine now into the second stage of mechanics?
The only reason I ask is obviously we've got the reefer mobile now, haven't we?
Yeah.
I've got an issue with a semi-automatic gearbox. So it will
yes.
not go into reverse.
Well, it's a synchro match.
Why don't you have a word with Rich tomorrow?
Yes.
Because he's had one exactly the same, so
Has
he
it?
knows them inside and out.
That'll do.
There you go. For an easy solution. Lampy, how do you resurrect a full-on dead bonsai? I don't know, but if you find out, let me know, because I've got one that is resurrected as well. Jamie says, thanks, guys. In the pond, my pond is 12 by 8, 5'5", tapered to 3 foot deep. I have 2 spawning brushes. My largest koi is 11 pounds. Are they showing signs, mate, Jamie? Have you got signs of them actually showing that they're going for it? They're having a go. Sean Morris, what actually happened to Lampy? I don't think anything's actually happened to Lampy. He's just not here. I believe he still breathes, walks this land, but where that is, I don't know. I could ask him. Yeah, I will send him a message tomorrow, and I will find out.
With Ginger Vikings' question about bonsais, I'm not going to read it all out because it's a mile-long list thing to read out, but I have just put a link in the WhatsApp group chat on reviving bonsais.
Have you really?
Yes, I have.
Oh, good deal. Can you bring the dead back? No, but I'm looking at AB Koi specifically, especially at AKA Matsuba or whatever it's called.
Akamatsuba.
And I like them. They're nice.
Oh, can anybody load up on a fish?
Can everybody load up what?
What we were looking at last night?
Give me one tick.
We could,
there's 5 on there, and I know 3 people that are after them.
Yeah, I bought an Easter shower this week.
I wasn't in the chat, so I don't think I was while I was driving.
Yeah,
so.
on the audio call.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I had to deal with the spider.
Yeah. Yeah. I bought an Easter shower this week, 2 Sankin, and
an Easter shower.
Pardon?
An Easter shower.
Is it Isa?
Yeah.
No, there's a
shower, yeah.
Is it Easter or is it Isa shower, guys?
Well, ISA, isn't it?
Both.
Yeah. And then I bought an achiever that I thought, why did I buy it? So
you guys will get to learn that Mick keeps koi not very long.
For days. Literally days.
So he's a good friend to have if you want to get koi, because he has to get rid of them somewhere, which tends to be friends and family.
yeah.
Jack, what one do you want on Orna fish?
There we go. I'll drop
Scroll
that
down.
Are we all on that screen? Yeah, there we go.
It's about another 8 rows down.
8 rows down.
Yeah, that's what. Keep going down.
Subas. that we're
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
for.
There's a box
Right.
of 5.
1, 2, 3, 4,
10,
5,
9,
6,
8,
7,
12,
8.
15.
I'll just get this in. We've got Wagwan, Breadwin,
One.
Sky Block. I'll be good. Albinia. Yes. Got it in.
Keep going. There's literally 5 fish in the box.
What's the code number?
Ramsey DIY says
can't
not
remember.
Stunners.
Oh, look at them heights over. Ooh,
Look at the super red Karachis. I was looking at them earlier.
When I heard
heights
it,
over the
the
sex.
songs come to mind. GG.
There you go. Another Kin Matsubas. Keep going. Two there.
Yeah, I come to you there. Tap it.
70 to 75 cm.
Back up.
There.
There,
Far
stop.
left. Down one. Far left there. MAR 400.
I'll bring that back up again in a second. There we go.
You can play that video. Should play.
Ooh.
Two very nice Akamatsubas there.
Yeah.
You got blue eyes as
Chaka.
well. That one, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Do you want to know the code of the box that's coming in?
Yeah, please. And find out how much, please.
MHO-001.
Yeah.
Garrett, you've got
Hello.
this at the koi pond. Says, I bet it doesn't do your health much good sat at that stool for hours on end. Gary, I bet you have a job to walk after you need the office chair. Something more comfortable.
I do actually get off it sometimes. It's a completely solid wooden bastard.
No, to be fair, I actually do find that quite a comfortable type of stool to sit on, me personally, like that.
Well, the only thing we is obviously
Nothing
because of
for you,
the
mate.
issue I've got with my legs.
It
is that
falls
if
off as well.
I don't sit with it straight. I put the stool kind of like that and then sit on that way.
Yeah. Another thing I know a lot of people have started doing now, a lot of gamers and a lot of streamers and a lot of people that are doing what this kind of stream, they do it all stood up. And they've got all the desks and the PC systems all raised up. Online gamers and YouTubers and streamers and all the rest of it are all doing everything in a stood up position for the amount of hours that they're doing. I don't know how they do it.
Sounds like hard work to me.
It says my neighbours and his son are mechanics. So there you go. That's
From the research I've done online, it sounds like it's the slave cylinder that could be leaking oil or has no oil in it. Now, there's one small tub that's on the connected near the gearbox that's empty. So I think it's leaked oil somewhere, which normally it leaks out the slave cylinder. So if that is the case, I need to know if A, somebody can break it for me, or B, is this tub actually the slave cylinder oil that's empty? If I can fill it all, because I can select first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. I just can't select reverse.
so your actual gearbox master cylinder is empty.
I think so, yeah. I have got a picture of it. I don't know what I'm looking
If it's the master cylinder that's empty, you might just need to put a replacement seal kit in it and then just top up your res. Because if it's empty, it's leaked from somewhere. Or
Well, this is what I was thinking. If I top up the res and see where it actually leaks from.
yeah.
But
Well,
I don't
it'll
know
either
whether it was-
be from the master cylinder itself, or it'll be from the gearbox itself. It's the only two places it can leak from. But you'll find a nice puddle. The oldest colour, mate. Black goes a dull grey stroke or black stroke grey, and the old waste pipe goes brittle. It's from the UV exposure. Yeah, but the discolouring you can get back just by warming it with a heat. Not the brittleness, obviously, if it's UV damage. But most pipe work now tends to have UV stabilisers in it to prevent that from happening, I think. I won't say for them, but I know that the UV colour will still come out of it, but do they still go brittle? I know a waste pipe does on your kitchen sinks because that's That's good.
I've cut through it before with a pressure washer when I've been pressure
Yeah,
washing
me too,
someone's
mate.
patio.
That's exactly what I did on my kitchen. Our jet washing bins off and everything went a bit too close with bin and blasted an hole straight from my pipe.
Yeah.
Carlos with a C says, been to 2 koi places today, but came back empty-handed. Now, you're better than me, mate, because I can't do that.
Yeah.
Even
I've
if
got
you're breaking
an
up.
idea you could do, though, Jack.
Go on.
I think Mick's phasing out.
Do we all wait for him 20 minutes while he comes back? Or do we move on without him? Mick, you might want to refresh your router.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gab says, Andy from Coipon Lifestyle says, is there a link to get on the live? There is, mate. I can. Hang about. How am I going to do this?
Would you like me to send it to him?
Yes, please, mate, if you won't mind. There you go. We'll send you one over, Andy, and you can feel free to. Oh, there you go. We've lost Mick.
Right, Andy Coipon Lifestyle. Link is coming to your Facebook Messenger now.
I'll bring Mick back in. Hopefully, when he connects back up. You were dropping in and out a bit there, mate. You must have been having a little bit of a bad signal.
Yeah. Can you hear me now, Jack?
Yep.
Right. You was talking about you can't get into reverse gear, so why are you just parking a place where you don't have to reverse?
That is probably the 12th time I've heard that this week.
Or park facing uphill.
What happens if you drive down a dead end? Then what? Oh, we've lost him again.
Yeah, just park on a hill. That way you just roll backwards.
Pond and Fishing with Rogers says, looking forward to Jack's Grown Show. Is what's up groups? No, is the WhatsApp group up? No, it's not yet, mate.
It will go live tomorrow at 8 p.m. because there's a video going live. There's video airing tomorrow night at 19:30. So at 2000 hours, the WhatsApp group will go live.
There you go. So it will go live there and then be there or be square. Mick
It's gone again.
is done again. Let's remove it for now. I'll get him to. When we do get back in, we'll ask him to go refresh his router because it's probably been 15 years since last time Mick refreshed his router. Mick, have a word with your glamorous assistant, Steph, and ask her if she can go reset your. Oh, he's gone. Reset your router. Serious question regarding depth. The pond I'm designing in my garden is 2.5 wide by 2.7 by 1.8 meters too deep. Well, 1.86 foot.
1.8 meters.
2.5 is just over 4 foot. 2.7 is just short of 8 foot. So that's 4 by 8 by 6 foot deep.
Your calculations out.
Should he just backfill it a little?
But you don't really need to be 6 foot deep, do you? From what we've been saying earlier.
In actual fact, that's actually more like nearer the size of my pond. That's going to work at about 8 foot by 8 foot by 6 foot deep.
Yeah. Well, 2.4 is 8 foot.
Yeah.
1.6 is 6 foot. So your
1.8
It's 1.8 into 1830.
2.7 is just shy of your 3 meters in it, really, which is 9 foot, just over, just under. You should know. You should know that perfect. Anyway, you do maths. You do feet and inches and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't do metric, do you? That's why.
2.4, 2.7. That's about 8 foot and a bit. 1.8 is 6 foot.
Yeah.
Mine's 7 foot square and 4 foot deep, so he's not going to be far off mine.
Sai says one just purchased from Quinny, Japan live and taking a little trip to Derby on Saturday.
Right, I've just been sent a video by Lee Ramsey. Is he wanting me to show you guys that, or?
I have no idea. Just check it first before you.
It's nothing. It's absolutely. It's really, really rude. It's a fish.
That'll do. Feel free to stick it in there, mate, and we'll bring it up. You never know. Fish porn. Zero Cool says, I think 4 to 5 foot is the sweet spot. There you go. Must be true now then. Lampy says so. I rescued a Datsu Akka Matsuba last week. Oh, nice. Is that what you're showing us a picture of? Let's have a look at it. If it is, that'd be good. And what a banger it was, says Koi Beginnings. Jeff Lee says, evening, guys. Very enjoyable talk tonight. Thank you very much, Jeff. Appreciate it very much, sir. Eddie says, tell Ollie to ask Guy. He knows him.
Yeah, Ollie was on about him in the store last night, mate. Is it the Renault specialist that's near Pet and Net?
Ginger Viking says, what motor is it?
Renault Master, semi-auto.
Call says, how we all doing? Good, mate. Hope you're well.
Right, Leah's just messaged me again saying it's 2 fish he rescued last week that he's just sent me.
We've got Mick back, but hopefully we can keep him in here this time.
Yeah.
I think he's just been second starting his bed. What's up with your router, mate? When was the last time you reset your router? We'll add this to the stream as well. There's the I'm guessing it's the rescue fish, is it?
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
Nice.
There's one of them.
That's lovely.
And the other one, when it works on me, is that one.
Wow. Mizuogon, that's incredible.
Wow. Lee, you lucky bugger. That's lovely. Both of them are, to be fair. I would be chuffed to bits to have a fish like that. That's some stunning deep red, that.
Some serious Benny.
Somebody do me a favour if you can while if any of their admins are on. Text Mick, tell him to reset his router because it's going to continue to happen. I'll do it myself. That was easier. Sorry about that, guys. We're trying to see if we can get him back in. He must be having some kind of an issue with his internet. It's not normal. It's pretty solid, isn't it? It's pretty good.
I think Andy at Koi Pond Lifestyle is having a bit of a job getting into the backstage area, Gaz.
Well, all he needs to do is click that link, mate. That's as much as... It's exactly the same as what he did to get on yours. Click on the link, and then you will appear right there. There's not much more I can do, mate, other than perhaps maybe I can't. Maybe if I copy that again, and there we go. I shall see if this works for you, Andy. There we go. There's the link. I'm trusting you all there. If anybody else wants to stick their head in and come in and have a chat with us as well, feel free to do so. First person that runs the mouth and F's and Jeffs and kicks off will be quickly removed. Hopefully. Right, Mick is back. Are you back, Mick? Let's see if we can get this sorted out. Are you back?
Yeah, I am. I've moved into the front room.
That's better. Now you sound good. I reckon you just need to restart your router, mate. At the end of the show or whatever, just give it a full-on restart. You should do it every now and again anyway, bud.
Back in the days when I was doing radio shows for online radio stations, I didn't know this, that your broadband router picks up so much crap and junk in the same way as your computer does. All you need to do to clear it out is to pull the power plug, actually pull the power lead out for 30 seconds, put the power lead back in, and it completely reboots it.
Or you can just log into your router and click clear cache, and that'll do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, but I'm not as clever. I'm not cleverly bald like you. I don't know how to do that.
On the back of your router, there's
Yeah.
an IP address. Type in the IP address, and your login details are also on the back of the card.
Oh yeah, I
Log into
know how to get into
save
that. I know how to get into that bit, but I haven't seen anywhere in that admin panel where you do that.
The cat Professor X, eh?
Professor X.
Professor Jack.
Yeah, little tinker.
Professor Reefer.
Question
What
from
you think
King.
about that,
What do you think about chags? Are they a good fish? Mate, I think they're lovely.
I've got one.
Yeah, I think every
I
pond.
personally think,
Yeah.
I personally think there are a few fish that should be in every pond. Now,
Oh no.
disagree with this. This is the little bit that I do, and this is what I've got in my pond. First of all, an odd number of fish, because the Japanese say that you should keep your koi in odd numbers.
That's me.
Second, a chag, because chags tend to be a slightly more greedier fish and
Yeah.
encourage the fish to come up and. But we also know of another type of fish that does that too now. It's a Balding reefer special, because that thing will encourage anything to eat. That fish is unreal. That's nuts. And then they also say that you should have a black koi, and a black koi should be in your pond because it's supposed to absorb all the bad, negative chi from your pond and from all your fish and keep everything harmonious, supposedly. That's what they reckon. And me, personally, I've been telling Mick, been trying to convince him all week that every pond should have an achiever, the autumn leaf on water.
Yeah. Well, I've got.
But he disagrees. He says it's just a boring, muddy, brown coloured fish.
I'm going to annoy both Jack and Vince here because two particular fish I think every koi pond owner should have. It's a Sankey, which I know is not Vince's cup of tea, and Jack's most hated one, the ghosty.
Yeah.
Kahaku. You've got to have a kahaku.
You've got to have a car.
One of them.
100%.
No.
I
would have.
I haven't just got one Sankey, I've got three.
No.
Well,
You
with
can
another
keep-
guest.
You can keep your. You can keep your Sankeys, you can keep your achievers. Yeah,
You
I would have a
miserable-
pond full of shower.
You miserable
You
scrap.
would as well, wouldn't you? Is there anybody else
Yamabuki. You'll have a Yamabuki Ogon.
pond
I've got.
just sticks to one? I do
I
think
did
they
have
do
one
look
of
like. Don't you? I'm saying, is there anybody out there that's actually got a species pond which just sticks to the one particular type, either
Koyagi. Shisui.
Yes.
My small pond that Kaz wanted started off with just sticklebacks. Now look what's in it.
Sneak you in there, Andy. Catch you off guard. See if I can get you.
Evening.
Welcome to the show, Andy. Anything?
Folks, all right?
Yes, very well, thank you, mate. Really good. You had a good week?
Excellent. Yeah,
Good
pretty
week?
good actually. I've been out doing a bit of filming tonight. Been out to see a private collection. Bless it. Secret location, bag on head. Don't know where I was going. Arrived half an hour late and did the filming. Very interesting.
Yeah. Did you get any fuck while you were there?
I didn't take my bag along, but he had his own bag there, so I didn't bother.
So how's the upside down tank working?
Pretty good, yeah, pretty good. I was doing a bit of filming today actually because you know those magnets that you get that when you do the aquariums, and I had one on the old tank, but it wasn't a very strong one, and it popped off every now and again. And the old one, when it pops off, try to find it now. Anyway, when it pops off, the inside bit floats to the top of the aquarium. So I was doing it today, and this doesn't freaking float. Straight to the bottom of the bottom.
So straight to the bottom instead.
Oh man, so you'll see that not this week, be next week I think when I film that. So yeah,
Well,
annoying that was.
We've had a fair few topics, and people are now. I think we're slipping into types of fish. What do you think to chags? I know you've got one.
Yeah, so far so good for me. I've always wanted one in my pond, and I never found the right one at the right price at the right time. And then Pencoy, my supplier, Steve, he kept his eye open on market and got the specification, everything I wanted. And for me, love them. They I tell you what, they calm down fish. I've got my ghost koi hated human beings with a passion you can only dream of. And I've put my Chagoi in now, and I've got the ghost eating out my hand. Dead impressed.
I've
Less
got
than
to admit, since putting mine in, that was the first one that came to do the up close feeding last season when I was trying to work with them a bit more. And the Chag were the first one there. And that's, I wouldn't say it's been the only reason, because obviously, my way of doing it was I didn't feed them for 3 days. So when I fed them up close, then they came in. But the first fish that what Chag, and as soon as he got there, and then now he's the one that's there first time every time, always. Yeah. First one to go to the piece of watermelon I put on today. The first one literally underneath it, sucking away the melon like crazy. Yeah. Always seems to be the bravest to get out there and go up first. But yeah,
I'm going to get another one. If that might be my next fish, I might get another one. I don't know.
Well, you can get a couple of them though, can't you? Different shades, different colours, and they wouldn't look like the same type of fish.
Yeah. No, I mean my Sirigoi, Sid, me Shirigoi. That's correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's a descendant of the Chagoi breed. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not Chagoi, it's Shirigoi.
Yeah. They're nice. You've got one, can't you? In fact, you've got one in. Is it in breeding program for this weekend then, Daz?
Sorry.
That you said that you might. Well, you were saying earlier on that you might have some fish that were spawning this weekend. Yes. Is that one that's in still?
Hopefully they're spawning now. No, it's not the Chag. It's the big.
Oh, sorry, no, it was a big one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Monster. Yeah. She probably ate all the males. She's a big girl.
She's big enough to do it, isn't she?
Yeah. No. There's all sorts in with her. The Yamabuki Ogons, some Sankeys. Put Randy the Sankey in, Mick.
Oh, you put Randy in?
Yeah, put Randy in. Well, she's a plain canvas, isn't she? Blank canvas. So we'll just see what we get out of them.
Here we go. Zero Call says, here we go. Every day's a school day.
Every single day, mate. Every single day.
Mike says... I
had the one today as well.
I got to admit, man, I did like that sketch you did that with the fuck. That was good. Yeah. Especially with the car passing him out that window. Oh, brilliant.
Hi, Mike.
Well. Thanks very much for that, Keith. Innocent Koi, my Chag is 12 years old now. So my dad had one, and it were 20. No, it wasn't 20. He got it from his sister for something like his 40th birthday. I think it were close to 20-year-old. I think it were like 18-year-old. And neighbours, unfortunately, spilled some cement into pond. And out of the 24 koi that he had, he were left with 4. And that were one of them. He were absolutely devastated. He got it for his birthday off of his sister. And, sisters moved abroad, emigrated, and he lost it. But I'm sure it were pretty close to 18-year-old. I'm sure it was. Oh. It was one heck of a thing. He loved it.
Yeah.
Chag was the first koi, still got it. Wow. Chag was the first koi, still got it 33 years later. Stevie G, that's yeah. I'd be chuffed to bits if I could get some of my 33-year-old.
How big is it?
Yeah, what's his size, Steve? What's he got to? Max Koi says the upside down tank is mega. What's he having? What's that? What he's doing, I must say, 100%. Yeah. Take it easy, bud. Thank you very much for coming on, Jack.
No worries. Catch you later, boys. Have fun.
Do you ever have any problems with the fish swimming into the fish tank and bumping themselves on the edge?
Not as yet. And I had the other one in my other pond. I used to have a horseshoe-shaped pond, and I had one in there that I just put on some cinder blocks. No, in fact, they were bricks. I just put them on some bricks. Didn't know a lot back then. Anyway, put them on bricks, and the fish were in and out of there, no problem. And I had the other one hanging off the side of my pond that I had no issues with at all. And I'm just keeping an eye on this one. And it's funny you say that, because it's only today that I had one of my fish had a raised scale, and I'm wondering if maybe it caught it on the way in, way out. But it's coming out over the next couple of days to get its first clean. So I'm taking the frame out and everything as well, and just having another. I always have a once so make sure everything's nice and smooth. But I think I might just have one more look, because I had these couple of raised scales I had to deal with today that maybe good for me. I don't know. Yeah.
I've seen quite a few people do them, to be fair, and done them, like you said, the same way, just standing them on cinder blocks. In fact, they've had like great big massive 4-foot tall columns sticking up from the pond. I don't think it's cool to be able to see them, and it is a cheap way to be able to get a window in your pond, isn't it?
Yeah.
So people
are asking why do that when you've got a window? It's just where I wanted my window, along the side of the pond, that it should have gone there, but unfortunately I put it in the wrong place. So I had to have some other way when I was sitting in the seating area of where I was going to put it to be able to see the fish, and hence, did a bit of research, found out of that, sussed out it worked and built, and away we go.
I mean, to be fair, mate, people asking why, because you can, because they're yours. It's for your pleasure, isn't it? Your entertainment, if you enjoy it. I mean, I do like. I think it looks pretty cool when you see them. Yeah. Kind of suspended in there.
It's like a periscope.
Distant, it almost just looks like a fish. You can't see the tank. You can see through the tank, and it almost just looks like there's a fish above water, which is weird.
Guys, I've just been sent a photo by Steve G of a photo of his shag, and it's 70 centimeters.
Wow.
How many? 90.
No, 70 centimeters.
70 cm. Is that it? Oh, look at that.
That's nice.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's one heck of a fish.
How big's the mirror underneath it?
Yeah, that mirror's big and all, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let me do this, and I can make it bigger.
Wow, that is a big mirror. Yeah.
Look at the mirror.
Scales on that.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, please. Oh, wow. Yes, please. I'd have that.
Yeah, he's got something right there. Growing conditions.
Yeah, he certainly has. Is that the only free fish you have in there, or do you have more in there as well? Because, I mean, I imagine fish of that size, you're not going to have too many more. £27. Mirror goes £27.
Cool. You know that Matsuba that you were looking at a few minutes ago?
Yeah.
I filmed one tonight. I filmed one of them tonight. It was a meter.
A meter?
Wow. That's a monster.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
They got
meter long.
All fish.
He's got about 7 or 8 in there that were a meter or more.
Wow. Looking forward to that bit.
The video will be out in about 2-3 weeks' time. I've got to finish it off and edit it and whatnot. So yeah. It's unbelievable private collection. This guy.
Yeah. Would you want about this one, Andy?
Sorry,
I did mention earlier on big bold solid colours, but I do love a kahaku. Simon Shear says. Would you have, Andy? Would you have, or any year? Would you actually have a species tank? Would you just go for kahakus, Yamabuki ogons, shisuis?
No.
And just have one tank full.
Yeah.
Would you have a pond tank? Sorry.
Yeah, one full shower. Full shower. Yeah.
I do think kahakus in a big show, in big numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would prefer one of every one.
Yeah, I like variety.
Yeah. Any ghost, I think I'd have a ghost Sankey pond. Shower Quark. I'm not a Sankey fan as much, unless it was like an high-end Sankey look, if you get what I mean.
You get these run of the mill looking sankies, and you think, okay, not very good, but
You fish snob, Mick.
yeah, I'm not.
It's very much ginger.
You know how you sorry. You know how you're saying you had a raised scale today.
Yeah.
How would you treat that then?
I had to sedate and pull it, to be honest.
That's what you
Right,
did.
okay.
Would do.
That's what I've done. Yeah, I mean, you tell that the bad scales because they're rough. Your scales are usually very smooth. If you find a rough one, that's usually a dead one.
So you think you were raised just because the scale had already had a knock and it probably already died back?
Yeah, maybe I don't know, but I'd been watching it over a few days, and it wasn't getting better. It started getting worse today, so I pulled it, sedated it, had a look, and yeah, there was about 3 or 4 all around each other, and as you go across them, you just it feels like a bit of sandpaper.
Yeah, so they're kind of
just pick them and then clean a wound, cover them over with the polyp stuff, and then back in the pond again.
Yeah. Was it tramadine or you put on it and stuff or something like that?
I got myself one of these kits.
The
What's that?
Medibox. Yeah, it's the main. Yeah, it's the company that make Learnex. Yeah.
Yeah, they make loads of stuff.
Oh, right.
20 quid this was.
Yeah.
Dad,
All their stuff's good.
Right, okay.
Dad, when fish get a dead scale, wouldn't it just drop off on its own over time?
No, it can go necrotic.
Yeah, if they were moving about quite a lot, like in the wild, then they probably would drop off. But I suppose in a pond situation where the food comes to them, they're not having to actively go out and hunt or anything. They'll get a bit lazy and probably don't move about enough.
Yeah, that's interesting. That box that Andy's got.
Yeah, so
I've
like I say,
seen that before.
sedated with that.
Yeah.
Where are we now? Sorry. Yeah, sedated with that.
So Colombo today, yeah.
Cleaned with that. And then covered in that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Populous spray though.
It's like a beeswax. It's like a beeswax spray. You spray it on, and it dries off, and then it protects the coat.
Yeah.
Right, that's a good question about Populous because me and Daz was talking about this week.
Yeah.
We've heard, I've heard Populous can seal bad bacteria in. Is that true? Does the viewers think that as well, or have they heard the same?
Yeah. If you don't clean it, if you don't clean the wound up properly, then whatever's left on there, you seal in. So you've got to, and that's what this does. This is the wound clean, and then you've got to be real, get as much as you can. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, so clean as I can get it, and then seals it over again. So, and again, I'll keep an eye on it tomorrow. If it needs resealing or something goes problem. So.
I've just dropped you a link in the Mick. I've just dropped you a link in the chat for that kit that Andy's got there.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And like I say, we'll spread it. We'll spread that around because, like I say, it looks a good product.
Yeah, it does. If it's done the job, funny vibration noise and all that. That come from. Kind of didn't know if it came from environment.
I'll tell you what, the first time you use this stuff and you knock your fish out, oh man, you wet yourself. Your fish all of a sudden just turns belly up.
That's it, like the dead.
Into its sleep. You've got to get it out then, get it on the wet cloth, cover its eyes, do what you got to do. But if you left it in there, it would just go past that point and then it may not return.
Yeah.
It's really, getting your timing.
I've only ever sedated twice, and it were both stuff that my dad wanted to do on fish of his. And I've never done any of myself. I've seen other people do them, but it is a little bit daunting when you see them flip over and roll over, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't realise that. Yeah, if you left it in long term, that it would actually kill it as
Oh
well.
yeah. Yeah.
yeah. If you left it in there, it would
Technically kill
eventually-
fish.
Is most of the stuff actually clove oil as well? I think somebody have said it.
Yeah, clove oil.
Yeah.
Clove oil to actually sedate with. Scary stuff, isn't it? When you feel
They'll just stop and then that's it. They just die.
have a quick look at some of Brett. Stevie G said the mirror carp goes up to £27. Mr. Coy says lovely fish. Got to agree, mate. Absolutely stunning. Up north, Coy, my neighbour has a common, and it is no joke. Must be £25. That must be a nice fish to look at as well. YouTube, Sean, Koi Pond Lifestyle. I think that was the question from Sean that was saying, what's this upside down tank? Anyone got a link? The link, well, just search for Koi Pond Lifestyle, mate. You will see. It's on the last 3 videos and a couple towards just before or just after Christmas shortly. He's been talking about this new framework and tank that he's been doing and I've put on his put on his pond. So have a look, mate. It's banging. Good idea. I like it, mate. I've got to admit, it's pretty good. I wonder what my mirror weighs. That's Mac. I don't know, mate. For science tomorrow, mate. Get up first thing tomorrow morning. There's a little video for you. There's a little bit of an idea. Get your fish out. Get it weighed. Let us all know. Jeff Lee says, I'm with you, Mick. He's with you.
What's that on? What's that on, mate?
With it might be with the full-on shower.
Yeah.
Speaking pond. Speaking to one type. My favourites are the Shuru, the Hai, and the Kiyotsuris. I've got to admit, mate, the Kiyotsuris, I'm not too. They've got to be really good. I don't.
Yeah.
They've got to be a really nice pattern on them for me to like them. But the Hayatsuri, I wasn't so much of a fan. But when you see good ones, then you've got, you definitely. For example, when we went down there to that koi farm and we were looking at them in there, you could have just scooped out all day long and took out a crack fish, and you walk away. Just took. You got as a random scoop. They were something else. They were lovely. Yeah. I love all pond fish. Don't have a favourite. Good on you, mate. I would like to say the same, but I would definitely be lying. I definitely have a favourite, and I definitely have I have a favourite fish, and I definitely have a favourite fish within my pond, and it's not my favourite fish. My favourite fish is one that my son got me, and I'm starting to turn a little bit. I mean, I've always said the Yamabuki Ogun was my favourite fish, and it is. But the way that Matsu Kawabaki is looking in my pond, I'm seriously impressed with it, and it's a fish that keeps on giving. It's like a never-ending. It changes every season. It looks slightly different. That's what I like about it.
They do. They're constantly evolving.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, I've got a Kiyotsuya in my pond, and that's going this year.
It says, how much was the med kit, if you don't mind us asking?
I think it should have been 25 quid, but he knocked a fiver off going Stafford. I got it for 20 quid in the end. I bought a few other bits and pieces. He did me a bit of a deal. Even at 25 quid though for everything all in one box, that's not bad, is it?
No.
Suits me.
A few good treatments there, isn't there? You'll be able to use it a fair few times.
Yeah.
Just looked. I could have saved myself that question. Just looked. Med box, 20 quid. So there you go. Did he do you a deal? He told you lies.
Lies.
I found it for £22 on Absolute Koi.
Yeah, that was what it was. 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 22. I'll give you 20. Oh, okay then.
What's for supper? Let's guess. Oatcakes. Right then. Anybody else got any other topics that they would like to bring up? Have you got anything that you'd like to bring up, Andy? Anything that I'd like to ask any of us or any of the public? Not putting you on spot, mate. If you haven't, it's not an issue. It's not a problem.
I'll tell you what. I've got a question actually, because are we all YouTubers on here?
No, I'm not.
I'm not.
Okay.
3 of us are.
Okay. So Gaz and Gaz.
Hello.
How long do you take to create a video?
What, my first one?
No. Well, just generally, how long? From concept, filming, editing to publish, how long does that take?
For me, I would say normally best part of a Saturday. And I would say I'd start in the morning because you like to set your stall out, don't you? Like tidy your garden up, cut your grass, all that kind of thing. So that's always behind the scenes. Then I might do whatever the video's about, but there's always a breakdown of those bits because you'll do a section. There's only so much you can film and record and do at the same time. So you've got to break it down into elements. And then there's always a bit where a family come out and say, hey, can you do so-and-so, when you end up getting broke off what you're doing. Then back watching through your video to find out where you were so that you can start again. So and then the editing side of things, maybe an hour and a half-ish. So, yeah, I'd say best part, I'd say a good, for me, 6 to 8 hours. Depending on what.
The longest it's taken me, including filming, editing, and everything, has actually been 2 weeks. You know, because you do different things on different days. So I think I'll add that. Then when you think you've got, say, a 20-minute video, I'll then sit here and put it all together. But the actual quickest I've done a full YouTube episode, like 20, 25 minutes, and edited it, put it all out, hour and a half. That's the quickest I've ever done it.
Bloody hell, you want to go on OnlyFans then, Gaz?
You know what? Right, he said to me a couple of weeks ago, saying he's having a heck of a job keeping up with me because for about a month and a half solid, with the exception of about 4 days, I put out a video every day.
You're a machine.
Yeah, we're just doing so much here. I just had so much to put out.
What about you, Andy? How long does it take you?
A 15 to 20-minute video will take about 4 days usually, because I get dead anal about things like the editing. I get really anxious about what people are going to be seeing and how they see it and what they see. You know what I mean? I must watch my videos about 10 or 15 times over and over and over again, and then go back and change it and cut a little bit, put a little bit in, and cut a little bit more, and then go back and refilm it. Hey?
No, I don't ever do that. So, I was talking to Gaz and Jack about this before, where I say what you see is I do it in one take.
Yeah.
I think Gaz got a bit confused. What I meant the entire 20 minutes is one take. So, if I'm doing something here, I'll film that, put it straight in. I'll go to the next thing, film it, put it straight in. And once it's in the editing software, I don't cut anything out. I don't add anything in. What you see between each fade, it's all done in one take.
Right, well done, mate. Yeah, flipping heck. I can't do that. I struggle to do that, to be honest. I kind of watch it and think, does that look right?
There has been times where I really get my own tongue twisted around the 3 teeth I've got left on. I totally crack up, but I try to leave everything in, so I'm not cutting out, say, the cock up parts of it or where I screw up, so that it also shows that if things can go wrong, and they do go wrong, and if it's funny, it does add to the video.
Yeah, dead right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So I'm just curious on how much the time I spent, how time other people spent on putting them together.
Well, I mean, when I've done some of my videos, I have done them where I've just literally. And it's weird, you know, because sometimes you put a lot of effort into a video and you expect it to do really well.
Yeah.
And you walk in, for example, one of mine, a fish tour, a one-stop fish tour. I literally parked my van up on my dinner time, walked in store, took my phone out, walked in, walked around it, walked back out. Loads of views. And then others that you spend loads of time on, next to none. But
I know. Also, there are people that when they look at something. I know there are also people when they look at something and think, right, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say it like this. Whereas me, I just sit there and think, right, one, what the heck am I going to do? I'm going to do that, and I just say it as it comes out of my head. I don't think about it. I just as I spit it out. That's what I say.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, cool. That's interesting.
I'm very spontaneous.
Well, I feel reassured now that there's no way I'd ever have time to do any of this.
It's like a second job. Yeah, it's a second job for me. You know, it's the amount of time we put in it. I got a day job, and I got an evening job, and I got a weekend job, and a week job. So it's like I'm working 7 days a week.
You enjoy doing it?
Oh yeah, loving it, mate. Yeah, it's good.
That's to me. That's the bit I'm doing. I'm enjoying doing it. If people enjoy watching it, that's a bonus. I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing. If people want to jump along, subscribe, and all the rest of it, that to me is the added bonus of it. It's given me a little bit of a hobby, which I think can escalate out of control slightly. If you want to.
I'm just reading the comments at the bottom here. I'm just reading the comments at the bottom. Wouldn't it be easier, less stressful, just do Libas people love Big Brother type of watching? Day 28 and Angie is spooning in the pot.
Whoop, and good evening from Sam. Are we good, Sam?
Sam.
There we go. There's the two messages that he's talking about. Day 28. I do find this easier. It's easier, but it's harder at the same time. You can just be yourself, but the hard thing about it is you forget to go through all these because you end up getting carried away in the conversation. But then again, it's more natural just to sit here and talk and just have a random chat amongst friends and hope that people enjoy that side of it, because this is what we do every evening. Just putting a camera in front of us is no different to me sitting here every night a week, just talking with these guys every day. And feel free, Andy, if you ever want to just jump in, if you've got time within your 4-day editing schedule. But yeah, it is all consuming, isn't it? Or it can be, I think.
Yeah, I work about 3 weeks ahead of myself. So what you see this Friday, I created 2 weeks ago, which sometimes I fall over myself because, I'm saying stuff on the video that happened 2 weeks ago, basically. So I could be saying, just look at the snow. And everybody goes, it hasn't snowed for weeks. Yeah, I know. So I've got to be careful how I'm kind of creating these things sometimes. You have to kind of think what I'm wearing and stuff, and
that's
what's
kind of
happening
what
around me, and my haircuts and all that kind of stuff.
That's kind of what James the Koi Whisperer was doing for his pond build. What we was watching every Sunday was already 10 days old. So he
10 days old.
Yeah, so the video's always 10 days behind what everyone else saw. Because I'm on James's channel membership and I talk to him quite a lot on Facebook, I did have the added advantage of seeing sneak peeks before everyone else did.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, I think, to be honest, in the video that's coming out on Friday, I talk about the weather and freezing temperatures, which happened 2 weeks ago. So you'll see that on, how they come out on Friday.
We got a glorious sunshine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, no, it isn't. It's in my house.
Yeah, but the humour, the way you do your videos, I think it's nothing else is out there.
No, it's not else
it's
like
definitely
that.
different.
No, it's definitely, mate. I have sat here with a little tear just trickling down my face, laughing at some of the stuff that you've done. It's brilliant, mate. It's made me giggle. And even to the point where I've had my wife that's been in there going, "What's up with you? What are you laughing at?" But brilliant. We've got.
I spent too much time thinking about it, unfortunately, but yeah.
Sorry, Andy. Sorry. What you said about how long it actually takes us. Believe it or not, you'll know this because you're on my Facebook group. Most weeks it takes me twice as amount of time to do Top of the Ponds as it does to do a YouTube flip video.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could believe it.
I record, man. Normally, if I record it on the day. So like this week, I've been able to do a few bits and bats, but I've been able to do, as you said, I've been able to record them throughout the week because I've been off, so I had to rush. Normally, because I work Monday to Friday, my only time to do a video is probably a Saturday. And then if I'm going down to meet these guys and we're going somewhere else, that's another video. And then before you know it, you've got 2 or 3 videos that you need to drop for a week at some point and get through editing them all. When I say editing, I tend to do my filming is it's a one shot. If I watch it back and think, God, that's you sound an idiot there, or yeah, you made a right mess of that one, redo that. So I just delete it and I'll do it again. The editing to me is I might put a few bits and bats together and put some stuff over top of it, music to it, or speed it up, slow it down. There isn't no major editing goes into mine. I'm not that good yet. I need to learn a bit more how to do it. But it's normally done there and then that day, straight in, put on PC, edited up, uploaded, banged out.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same. I just want to film what I want to do, put it into the software, stitch it together, put the fades in, put the music in where I want it, get it out. I don't want to be sitting there for hours, cutting a bit here, cutting a bit there. It just takes sitting there that many hours, cutting it here, cutting it there. Because you know what? Some YouTuber videos, you can see everywhere they cut where it flicks. And that, to me, it actually spoils the fun of it.
Yeah. That's why I like the live bit. That's why I like doing when we've done the lives and we've been out and we've done the lives. I think when I go to some of these shows this time, I'll be doing them live. Rather than waiting to get back home and driving 4 hours, I'm just going to whack it straight out there for everybody to see there and then. Because the interaction that I had with a lot of people, I wouldn't have had the time to record while I was down there last time. Because the in-depth conversation that we had went on for that long, but that over a live, I think we'd really like to hear and really like to see what the people put into the fish while they're doing it. So I am going to give it a go this next time and just bang some live views out as well, because it's far easier to just sit there and let everybody see it as it is, raw, so to speak, like this.
The only trouble with doing it that way, guys. The only trouble with doing it that way. So if you're a koi show and you're doing a live YouTube on your phone, it takes one heck of a lot of data. It
doesn't. It doesn't. Depends what you've got. You can get equipment out there to. Yeah, there you go. Is the use by date? And yes, I'm guessing that is.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, December 2022.
So you really you've got to use it this season too.
Yeah.
But to be fair, most meds are that way, aren't they? Because they don't have a long shelf life. Most meds or medicines never really, once opened, it's a case of you get them using it within a certain length of time, isn't it?
That was a question I couldn't think of earlier, where you guys are, where you asked if we got any, say, subjects we want to talk about that just popped out of my head. Was using pond treatments as well as feeding koi food that's gone past its expiration date. What do you guys think on that? Would you use stuff that's gone out of date, or would you say no, it's out of date, it needs replacing?
Food,
I would use that now.
I don't think I'd out of date.
Meds, I would say maybe not so much. I wouldn't be all that bothered with. But foods, I wouldn't do, because you don't know what's going on that food, what's been over. For example, we do know somebody that's fed something that was slightly contaminated, and boom, everything were dead. So, meds I don't know so much. I don't think it'd be. Depends what it was.
Yeah, it depends. If it's an antibiotic,
then been open and it was then no. If it was something that was unopened and it was said, it went out of date last month, and it was just for parasite treatment, I'd use it. Because
I've seen this question come up about treatments and food, different times across Facebook pond groups, and there's so many people that are advocating that to feed fish out of date food or to use out of date treatments, it's a guideline, not a must, and it's perfectly fine. The way I put it to myself is, would you eat food or take medication that's out of date yourself? Would you give it to your pets? To me, if it's out of date, it's got that date on it for a specific reason. So if it's gone past that date, then the only place it does go is in the bin.
Oh.
Yeah, food I want, because stabilizers in the foods start to break down after that date anyway. Oh, as soon as manufacturing, the stabilizers start to break down in the food anyway. So anything past that date by a month, yeah, maybe, but past 3-4 months, I'd put it in bin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose each to their own.
See, with food, I bought my sinking wheat germ back in end of October, November, and I've just now started to go on to the summer food, the OSW. Whatever wheat germ I had in the pot that was left, I had about a quarter of the tub left. That went in the bin about 3 days ago.
Oh dear, sorry, I wasn't laughing.
What was that one?
0 cool. Man arrested for whacking it out there for everyone to see at the car show. That was a good one, mate. Like that. Slightly out of context, but still funny. Please, Kaz. Oh, yeah, Kaz, I'll have a cup of tea. My wife's just got home as well. Right then, I will bring this one up because where did it go? Ginger Viking, mate, you're banging out some cracking content and we're all enjoying it, so keep banging it out. As long as you're enjoying it, that's the main thing. Thanks very much. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Thanks, Alistair.
What else we got? Last week, I introduced 2 large cloth window box for pond plants around the inside. It looks great, and the smaller fish enjoy going underneath it. There you go. As long as there's no sharps, mate, and there's nothing that they can catch themselves on. I mean, at the end of the day, fish will itch against anything. And I don't think you can really protect them. You can't wrap them up in bubble wrap, can you? they're going to get bumped, they're going to get knocks. Let's face it, we can all turn around and say, well, we've got nothing in this pond, and fish can jump clean out, breach out of water, and land on side of your pond and damage it and bump itself. And then it bounces back in. And it does happen. Some people, look on YouTube, there's quite a few videos where a lady, she's trying to pick up a fish to get it back in pond. It's been there for 40 odd minutes flapping around on banking. It literally got out of the smallest little sliver by coming up, swimming up and darting out through the tiniest little gap between the window and the pond covers. Yeah. Okay, well, look, he survived it. Wife spotted it and popped it back in.
Yeah. Can I ask a question, Gaz? Gaz. Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can, mate. Fire away.
Yeah, about the flow. Like at the moment, at the bottom, like I say, at the bottom of my pond, has anybody got a way of making more movement in a pond, but it's not got no bottom drain? It hasn't got like the inlets like you would if you was doing it like a more high-end koi pond, if you get what I mean.
You wanting to get more of that?
Yes, and I want the floor to be a little bit clear, because since I've turned that spray bar off, it just started to see a little bit more debris than normal.
Can you add another return, Mick, like angled down towards the floor? I'm not like I say, I'm not too sure. Like I say, when I come over next, I'll take a video and see what you think. Yeah,
well, you can get just impellers that spin in your water just to push water movement, can't you? Like you would do in a reef tank. And they're literally just suction cups that just stick to the side, and you can drive water in any direction that you want. But again, it's something else to put in your pond, something else that's going to be running off of electric, and something else that they could bump into. But yeah, you can get, I forget what they call them. Is it wave makers or
wave makers? Yeah,
like a wave maker, and that would shift you. But
can you get one for a pond though?
Well, I would imagine so. I mean, there's some pretty damn big coral tanks, isn't there? I mean, if you look at sea life centres, they've got to get them. They've got to have something that moves them in there. But again, it would be, I suppose there'll be all sorts of jets and water pushing through them, won't there? I mean, I don't know. Have a look, mate. See what you can get. I would imagine you'd be able to do something. It could just be rerouting your pipe in a different manner.
Yeah.
And using your flow from your return in a different way to what you've got now if you don't want to have that spray bar running anymore, because it's expensive.
I mean, would it? I mean, I don't. There's one way I could do it is buy a vary pump and then have a piece of pipe going down the bottom of the pond kind of thing all the way around. But what would this work? You know, if I teed off. You know the vary pump I've got at the moment. It's in the centre of the pond.
Yeah.
So if it comes up across the bottom and then it comes up in that corner, is there any way we could tee that off, and then have like have a branch of it off and then like that hitting the floor? So I'm getting like half returning to the box, half getting back into the pond. Is that doable? Do you think?
So you just use some of it to go to your filter system and some of it to be moved as circulating water?
Yeah. Would that be doable or?
I would imagine. Well, we'll have to have a look, mate, and see what we can do, see what we can come up with. Anybody else got any ideas out there? Basically, he's trying to get a little bit more movement within his water by maintaining the pond that he's got and the system that he's got already by perhaps altering pipework to get better flow rather than going out there and, new pumps and adding in more stuff with a couple of alterations, you mean, aren't you?
Yeah.
I reckon we'd better come up with something, mate. And if not, what's it cost to try a few quid for a couple of different elbows and a couple of tees or
that's it.
Different fittings?
Yeah.
Have a look. Koi carp are pigs with fins. Totally agree. That's a question, guys. And to you, hang about. We've got a hello there from James the Koi Whisperer. How's it going, James? How are you going? Thanks for joining us again. How's people's fish feeding? Mine have been feeding like crazy over these last 3 days, and I'm meaning I can't seem to get enough in them. I've probably given them 6 or 7 handfuls over the last 2 days, but that's what I'm in garden more. But every single I'm passing pond there at top going nuts.
8 times a day, and they just keep taking it. I must have fed mine 6 times a day. The smaller fish.
I've never noticed mine seem so hungry as what they are. Not last year. This time last year they were interested in food, but not to this extent. Not like they are. So much so, actually started to chew on my lilies, Gaz. That's your fault.
I know a lot of people, they completely stop feeding through the winter. Other people feed very small amounts. Could it be a thing where they're coming out of winter, they're becoming more active, so where they haven't eaten for so long, would that be anything to do with it?
I've mine fed through the winter, but mine is still ravenous now.
Yeah. Mine are hungry, but I spoiled them with that food you gave me, Daz, the other day. That sinking little pellet. Now they won't even touch that food I've got.
They do like those sinkers.
So you've gone to a sinker, and now you've run out of the sinker, and you've gone back to the floater, and they're not coming up for it. Yeah,
because the little tiny, the little tiny little fry. What I got off Daz.
Yeah.
Daz gave me a little pot of food just to throw it in so it sinks to get them. And all the other fish loved it, and now, like I say, they won't touch my 4 mil wheat germ.
Oh,
they'll come up when they're hungry.
More tomorrow, mate.
Okay.
What did you say, Andy?
I said they'll come up when they're hungry.
Oh yeah. I agree with that too. End of the day, if they don't come up when it's there, scoop it off, put it to one side, and leave them until next day. They'll come up then.
Yeah, that's what Steph did this morning.
Yeah, don't get embroiled in chicken sinking. Just go back to floating. They'll come up when they're hungry.
Yeah. Well, We'll definitely
Otherwise,
let
you'll
you
never
know.
see it. It'll be on bottom all time.
I mean, what do you think? Sinking or floating food, Andy? I mean, because do you think sinking has better benefits than floating, or floating has better benefits than?
To be honest, I mean, we obviously know that floating food's got more air in it, and sinking's obviously not. So that's what that is, more dense, isn't it? But for me, I always mix. So for example, at the moment now, I've got a winter and a summer mix that Koi does for me. So that I'm now coming out of winter through spring, and I'm now getting the fish. The wheat germer I did a few weeks back now, but now I've introduced a little bit of summer mix in it as well, and it's got a little bit of sinking in there as well. So I've got a lot of happy medium for all of them. So the very small amount of sinks, the rest of it floats. Some of it's wheat germ, and some of it's summer. So I'm slowly starting to introduce the summer food now, but only slowly.
Okay.
That's what
Thank you.
Got a question here. What's everybody's thoughts on butterfly koi? I'm undecided, but tempted to buy one.
Love them.
Well,
No,
I don't know. Got 3 no's. Look at them faces, and they're all definite no's as well.
It comes back again to something I was talking about one time. That there are koi hobbyists that don't recognise ghosties as a true koi breed or koi variation. There are also those that feel the same way about butterfly koi. They don't see it as a true breed of koi. To me, a koi is a koi no matter what variety or breed it is. And I do like Jill and John on Wayside Koi at the weekend. Absolute great lovers of butterfly koi. And I think a butterfly koi, again, is a very good one for any koi owner to have.
No. Butterfly koi are not nishigoi. Yeah, they are come from a different. They've come from a different lineage, so therefore they're not a true koi in my eyes, and I think in a lot of most people's eyes, because they are called something different. They are not, like I say, they're not a nishigoi.
The question was, what is everybody's thoughts on butterfly koi? I'm undecided, but tempted to buy one. Not, are they a koi? What's your thoughts on them, and would you have one?
No, I would say yes, go for it. I would definitely have one.
No,
if you want to get one, then who's stopping you? Sure, pond. You put in one you pond, whatever you want.
I have one, and I have one for one very good reason. And the main reason being is they reckon that the butterfly koi is like what's classed as the canary fish. Same as the rummy-nosed tetra in your tropical fish tank is classed as the canary fish. The rummy-nosed tetra's nose will go very dull when there's something wrong with your water parameters.
Yep.
A butterfly koi's fins will go red and stained like blood marks in them when there's something wrong with your water quality. And they will do that way before your koi do. So I have one for that reason and because I like them, but that is also the reason why I have one. So, and I've seen it.
Have you noticed that, Gaz? Has that actually happened?
Yes, 100%, mate. Yeah, I noticed that one of my I used to have 2. Give one back. Give one my dad took because he already has one, and I thought, well, I'm going to keep this one because I like that particular one more. But that particular one that I had and still have now, red streaky lines in its fins, and I thought, what's wrong with that? First thing I did, check my water, high ammonia. And it was the day after the fish had been spawning in the pond. Now, I didn't realise that at that time. I didn't know that you get high ammonia levels when fish spawn in your pond. Until, some quite recent that I learned from watching everybody else's bits and bats about spawning. I went and seek some advice from my local, and he turned around and said, well, that's reason why is from this, X, Y, and Z. Try this, put that in, do that. This job's a good one, got everything back under control. As soon as I got on the parameters back down, the red streaks that were in its front pectoral fins completely gone. Could be coincidence, but it might be true. It was coincidental that it happened right around the time when I had a pneumonia spike. But
you say that they're not Nishigoi.
Yeah.
All they are is a longfin variety of koi. Now you can cross a basic butterfly with something like a shisui or a kahaku.
Oh, yeah.
It will produce that pattern in a longfin version. So how can it not be Nishigoi?
Seriously,
I think the butterfly koi from China and the Japanese koi come from Japan. Something along that.
Yeah, I wasn't just being rude about the fish. I mean, we read it somewhere, or I listened to it. Butterfly kois come from a different lineage, which makes them not Nishigoi.
But that's still a koi.
This different line, is that something to do with the barbels on the mouth as well? Have they got 4 instead of 2?
They tend to have 4, don't they? Rather the 2 on the side rather than.
Now I think normal koi have just got 2.
Yeah, but if you look now, some koi that you see coming through in some of the shops, some of the koi are getting 4 because they've been bred back through.
With
Yeah.
I mean, you want to think all these koi that people are getting now come from the original 6 fish from Germany in 1904.
Yeah.
Butterfly koi are more American thing. Well, I disagree, man. I'm not American.
Americans love them.
But the Americans do love them.
Yeah.
And so Koi said he saw that thing with the fish when it jumped out of the pond. I'm guessing that's what he's meaning. Mike says hello. Hi, James. Gaz should be home for free, so might be earlier than 12, maybe 11. Will let me know. Nice one, mate. Oh, that's Jeff Lees. We might as well give him a shout out. He's doing me a huge, great big favour and doing my channel a favour. He's providing me with a pond liner. He's been good enough to give me a pond liner free, which is 9 meters by 8 meters. So I am going to go meet him tomorrow and pick up said we're going to do a fuck meet, but it's going to be a liner meet instead. As you did, the old passing it through the window. meeting him in a car park at the Knutsford Services or something like that.
It's going to be filmed. Get it filmed.
Get it filmed. We've got, I think butterfly are beautiful. Would love the jet black butterfly koi. Yeah, I would as well.
Alistair. Oh.
Alistair, don't listen to him, mate. They are stunning. I think they are beautiful.
I'm with you on that one, Alistair.
James, clapping hands. Medicines have use-by dates as they may deteriorate and even become more potent. Well, then you'll need to take less. Jobs are good. We've got Hey Ho James, the koi whisperer from Argaz. Hero Cool. This is what I do. 50% of the filter and 50% of the push return. There you go. That's what he does. So it must work, mate. There you go. We'll mess around with it, see what we can find.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Hero Cool.
Up North Koi says feeding like animals 8 times a day, so it must be this slightly warm springer that we're having. And everything else is good. I fed mine at least 7 or 8 times a day, and they've had a piece of watermelon floating around in there all day too. But they really have been whacking some food in them. Now then, there is a lot more comments here. There's loads and loads. Anybody else got anything else that they would like to bring up and discuss? Because as much as I would love to continue and carry on with everybody's comments, it is pushing up to 10:30 now. And I would like to thank all my panel guests and panel and friends very much for joining us and taking part. Anybody else got anything they would like to add?
Thanks, guys. Good stuff. Good coming, mate.
The silence speaks volumes. Well, thanks very much, guys, for coming along. Thanks everybody for all your comments. And if I didn't get to your comment, I am working on it. I'm trying to get faster through them all, and I'm trying to keep up with it, but it's quite difficult when you do as much as what I do.
You need an assistant like I do with Kaz on my shows.
You're probably right, mate. I probably do. I probably could do with somebody to actually room with us.
Can I just say, Gaz? Can I just say, Gaz, the other Gaz?
Yeah.
I forgot to mention when I was on your live thing the other night.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for what you do for all of the YouTubers. You know, when you put us on your Facebook and you do your little, you know, here we have James, you know, the Pond Nutter, and you got Andy, the Oatcake King. Thanks ever so much for that, mate. Because you know what you do on your Facebook thing is fantastic, mate. Like I forgot to thank you. I went off and I thought, bloody hell, I didn't thank Gaz for all the support you guys.
You're going to make my head grow.
No, I thought I'd got some smoke on your backside. Why not?
Well, you know, it's a pleasure to be able to share, you know, not just my videos on my group, but yours, Gaz's, James's, Righty. It's one of the main principles behind Pond and Garden. It's not just out there to support and help, you know, pond owners and gardeners alike. It's also, you know, to support you guys out there that do all this hard work with your YouTube videos.
No, I really appreciate it, mate. Thanks.
You're more than welcome.
Sorry, Gaz, that's it, mate.
From Peter. Gaz, which is your local dealer you use, mate, as we're in the same area? Well, at present, mate, I use a place which is called Quality Coir Carp in Brighouse of Huddersfield. I tend to get most of my stuff from there. If not, then everything else that I do get will either come from Jack. And for example, Skegness Pond Supplies, who has provided me with one of my components for my filter build, which will be in the video and you guys will be able to see. But generally, most of my stuff, I used to get it from Brighouse Quality Coir Carp. And they also do tropical as well, but unfortunately they're closing down the tropical section, which might mean they carry more stuff towards the koi, but we'll see. But yeah, that's normally where I use, mate. That's where I go from. Right. It's been fantastic. It's been a pleasure. It's been great to have you all. It's been an absolute pleasure to meet you and have you on as well. Andy and Gaz, Daz and Mick.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for coming along, guys. If you could do me a huge favour, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. And until next time, I shall catch you all on the next one, guys. Take it easy and keep smiling.
Bye.
See you all soon.